How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today, as we will always do following a Chiefs game, whether it be a victory or a defeat. This case, it was a victory for Kansas City as they took down the Indianapolis Colts by the final score of 23-20 in an overtime victory, one that really kept them alive. But we always talk about the offensive line and their performance. Now, as we know, going into this season, the offensive line was a struggle for Kansas City in 2024, one that they always needed to improve on. They did. They added a few pieces. However, even into 2025, there still seems to be a little bit of issue when it comes to keeping Patrick Mahomes protected. It's been 4 games now where he's been sacked 3 or more times in a row. And even then, that's not how you're going to be able to win football games. But still, at the end of the day, they still are finding a way to get the job done. Now, when we look at all of these, it comes down to PFF grades, and it always has and it always will. So let's take a look at the starting offensive line grades for this week. Now, they got Josh Simmons starting off at left tackle. He played in 96 total offensive snaps. 59 of them were pass blocking and 37 were run blocking. Overall, he had a 68.5 overall PFF grade with a 75.3 pass blocking grade and a 58.7 run blocking grade. This season, he has been way better at pass blocking than he has been at run blocking. In fact, throughout the entirety of the year, his pass blocking grade sits at a 74.2. His run blocking grade sits at a 53.5, so almost a 20-point difference there. Overall, on the season, he has averaged out to be a 65.3 overall offensive player for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is totally fine because we had seen some things on Josh Simmons' game slip when he took a step away due to some personal reasons. But since he's returned, things have kind of looked up his way. While a 68.5 is very admirable, I think that he'll tell you in itself that he needs to perform a little bit better. And one where I think that it'll only get progressively better with time. Next to him at the starting left guard position was Kingsley Suamataia, and he had a great game, a terrific game, and 96 total offensive snaps, similar to Josh Simmons. He had a pass blocking count of 59, and 37 of them were run blocking. His overall grade, though, was better than Josh Simmons's, as it sat at a 71.1. His pass blocking grade was the highest of the offensive linemen, starting that is, at an 88.4, and a run blocking grade of a 67.1, which ranks second on the starting offensive line behind the starting center. But all in all, I think Kingsley Suamataia, him having a strong game is good because he has progressively moved into a bigger role this season for Kansas City and has really taken this left guard role seriously. All in all, I think that there's like a little things that he has to take care of. He did get penalized, but there is still the upside. He's still very young. However, with having Patrick Mahomes still under pressure throughout the entirety of the game, which it being something that was something that they wanted to fix from 2024, it hasn't been stellar in 2025. But Creed Humphrey has, because his offensive grade from Pro Football Focus sits at an 85.5, ranking the highest of the starting offensive linemen. He had a 77.9 run blocking grade and pass blocking grade, and a run blocking grade of 86.1. I will say it over and over and over again. It's like beating the dead horse. Creed Humphrey is the best center in the National Football League. I don't care what conference, which division. Creed Humphrey is the best. He is a terrific asset for Kansas City on the offensive line, and it shows week after week after week. Don't believe me? His overall grade this season in terms of Pro Football Focus is a 90.3 with a pass blocking grade of an 82.1 and a run blocking grade of 90.5. And he's only been penalized once. Creed Humphrey, former second-round pick, has been stellar for Kansas City ever since donning the uniform. Now, when it comes to moving on down, we've got Trey Smith, the starting right guard. He ended up getting removed from this game, and he has been reported to have dealt with a few injuries to his lower half, which could hold him back for a little bit of time. And he will not be playing against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. All in all, though, when he was on the field, you could tell something was wrong. He had a 50 overall Pro Football Focus grade, a 54.9 pass blocking grade, and a 58.4 run blocking grade. So not a lot of friendly or regular Trey Smith numbers, but unfortunately, he got injured, and that's something that you can't really take blame of him for. Moving forward, you're likely to hopefully fill that role with Mike Caliendo or even maybe Jalen Moore going forward. But whoever has the better performance, I think that is the best key to fill it in. But losing Trey Smith on the offensive line does not bode well for Patrick Mahomes, especially since he got brought down a lot, and he has been getting brought down a lot. Whether Smith is on the field or not. Juwan Taylor starting right tackle, 96 total snaps, similar to everyone else, but he had a 66.6 overall grade, a 79.9 pass blocking grade, and a 58.7 run blocking grade. He also had a penalty called on him as well. Well, I am always quick to give Juwan Taylor his criticisms. This was his best performance since, this was his second best performance in terms of Pro Football Focus. His best game came against the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 5. He had a 69.2 overall grade in that game. This game, he had a 66.6, where he had been putting up 44s and 47s in between going into this game. So it is something that he has to take care of and move on from, but he also has to work on those penalties. But all in all, the Chiefs offensive line, I think that they know that they have to fix things in order to protect Patrick Mahomes. If they want to find a way to get into the playoffs and hopefully have a deep run, you got to stop. You got to stop letting Patrick Mahomes get taken down. You got to stop a lot of things on the offensive line. And, while they did make some improvements, I don't know if I'm completely sold on the offensive line. It's not necessarily worse compared to others in the National Football League, but it is something that has to be addressed and really paid attention to moving forward. Against the Dallas Cowboys, I would like to see a better performance, and hopefully they'll be able to get that job done. That being said, be sure you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. Post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs while we go into week 13. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI, over on X and Facebook. Everything gets posted there because Kansas City Chiefs on SI is the place to get your Kansas City Chiefs news. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, be kind to one another.